Go ahead, say it now.
You in the grill pit, bitch.
Our distinguished guest, he is more than a scholar, he's more than a lecturer, he's more than an activist, he is a legend, a living legend amongst our people. He is one of the elders of the African community. He has given his life to study as well as teaching our people about their great past and the prospects for an even greater future. He is a man whose presentation of history is penetrating and powerful, and he has a way of bringing history alive. And I think that those of you that have heard him before, and those of you that are going to hear him tonight, know that there's no one that is quite able to put history, I'll describe it in quite the way that our lecturer tonight does. It is with great pride and pleasure that I present to you, and I also ask that you receive with as warm a reception as you can receive.
This is SAF Money, your prison lawyer. And I'm gonna give it to you, bro. Well, I ain't gonna give it to you at all. IDSTS on GP. You feel me?
White MFers.
I don't give a fuck what anybody says, because it's America and you should be able to do and say what the fuck you want. God bless America.
A man who was accepted as a god in Europe long before the birth of Christ, accepted quite a few Africans as deities. Imhotep, this great African who was the world's first multi-genius.
This is SAF Money, your prison lawyer. I want to welcome you to the Grill Prig. Thank you, doctor, for that introduction. I couldn't have said it any better myself. And what's up? It's just SAF Mo, your prison lawyer. This is SAF Mo, your prison lawyer. This is SAF Mo, your prison lawyer. And I have an exclusive update for you on Angela Naive Jackson, who filed a sexual abuse case against MN DOC. Mr. Paul Snell got it. For you lames who aren't up on an IGSTS we trust, there's going to be an update for you, recap. For all the rest who support, I like to say, what up, you dig? And thanks. Thank you for your support. We appreciate it. And you know I'm going to hit you with the grill pit. You dig? Let's do this. Motherfucking grill pit. This is SF Mo, your prison lawyer. And I got a banger for you. But before I get into that, let me give you a little context to this video you're going to see, because it's a little bit complex. So back in 2020, December 2020, there was an investigation into Laurel Correctional Institution in Florida, FDOC. The AP had wrote an article titled "Investigation Finds Rampant Sexual Assault of Inmates by Staff, Prison Staff," right? So from 2015 to 2019, there was over 161 assault cases investigated, and only 8 resulted in arrests of staff. This is crazy, right? Some of the start situations we have is that women said that the process of reporting it was difficult, right? This is after PREA. This is post PREA. They're saying that coming forward about a sexual assault, they were handcuffed, taken to administrative confinement, which is SEG, and they experienced loss of privileges and property and visitation. This is after PREA. They're doing this. So they're fronting off PREA like it's some type of a revolutionary change and progressive change, yet and still when it comes down to rank and file, they're still doing the same thing as usual. Other issue is just reporting constrictions, right? The timeliness of reporting, because a lot of times with staff, when you're trying to report something to them and tell them about their own, they play games with you. You know, they don't file certain things. They lock you up and put you in SEG. Another finding was that often than not, according to report, the investigations are not thorough. In many cases, the accused perpetrator is not even interviewed. not even interviews. In other reports, incidents, the investigation is eventually suspended and then it lingers for years with no outcome. Often the guards keep their jobs regardless of multiple accusations against them, sexual allegations against them, being reprimanded or moved to a no inmate contact list rather than losing their jobs. A lot of this has to do with the union, right? You know, them protecting their jobs. I know, SAF mode. Here you go again. Here you go with, bringing us bad news, but, somebody's got to report on it. You know what I'm saying? So, I know you're used to your law and order and your CSIs and all this, at the end of the day, these Brady Bunch conclusions to the conversation, and you're not used to the truth being told to you. But your body, you might want to put your babies to bed, because SF Mo gonna give it to you raw and tell you exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no dragnet a baby. You know what I'm saying? No Brady Bunch issues, endings happening here with us, right? So, with that being said, why do you bring that up, SF Mo? You know what I'm saying? Why did you come to that conclusion or bringing this up? What relevance does it have? Well, unbeknownst to you, like I told you to put the babies to bed, that Minnesota has this same situation. You know what I'm saying? But how could this be possible when we got this great commissioner and this new Negro deputy commissioner? How is it possible that Minnesota has the same problems with sexual abuse? Well, they've been able to utilize the system and put people in front of them so they don't have to hear it, and they have a plausible denial when it comes to this, right? That if you don't tell me about it, or if I don't hear it, I don't have to address it. But this situation is going on in Minnesota right now. A female by the name of Angela Jackson was assaulted not too long ago, and the DOC is trying to sweep it underneath the rug. But you know what I'm telling you? We're not going to let that happen, right? Angela Jackson's case will not be swept up underneath the rug. And we're going to bring old Paul Snell. You're going to make him heel down and listen to us. I got something to say. This is SAF Mo, your prison lawyer. And I'm going to give it to you raw. Every time.
This call is now being recorded.
Hi, my name is Angela Don Jackson. I'm calling in the case of me being sexually assaulted by Officer Wendover in the care of DOC while I was in segregation. I want to touch base on that Scott County Police Department never came out here and investigated, got no statements from me, knowing what the problem was of my complaint. I need them to be held accountable for their own policy and procedures. Also, I need the other officer that did this, Officer Wendover, to be terminated from his job, and the other officers that were on duty that were in segregation, and any other officer that be held accountable for their actions and their negligence on this case. I'm asking for justice for Angela Jackson. I'm asking that you guys keep supporting me with this, and during these difficult times for me, I'm asking that all my reports get released. They won't release none of my reports that I'm requesting here from the prison. They're saying it's confidentiality. I'm asking that Central Office does a thorough investigation and makes changes here, so this will never happen to another woman here while in custody at this prison. I'm asking that any lawyers out there that can help aid me in this situation, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. I was calling because about your podcast.
Yeah.
Did you still want to do that?
Yes.
my advocate, my other advocate, my Native American advocate that's been helping me also along with the help that you guys been giving your support to me for. I had a legal call with her today, and she wanted to something about NPR radio said something, and she wanted to speak on about what's going on in here, and I told her that you have a podcast.
Okay.
And she's really interested in getting me us trying to help get that on the show or get that on your podcast and whatever else. And I did get a lawyer, Bo.
Oh, great! That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So, and I would like for you guys to come to my court hearing, if possible. I'll find out here probably in the next week or probably sooner when the next court date is, but it's been getting pushed back for both sides, I guess, to get paperwork and witnesses and whatever else they need to get to be ready to go to court.
What county is that court date? Is that in the county that Shakopee?
It's gonna be
Scott
Scott County.
County? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, if you can relay that to, if you can't get a hold of me, just relay that to Philip, and just let him know so you don't have to, if you're not getting a hold of me, because I know he can transfer that over a lot quicker through text or.
Danielle's number also, and you can try to communicate with her.
That's your advocate?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an advocate, because I'm half Native and half Black.
Okay. What's her number?
763.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. 763.
Mm-hmm.
639.
639.
4041.
4041. And the first name?
Danielle Dawson. DAWSON.
Danielle Dawson?
Yes.
Okay, I got that. How you?
I would have called you sooner, but I wanted to see all the things of the wheels starting to turn, so we could have start setting up a plan for something like, could be orchestrated real soon.
It'd be good just to get a telephone call, a Zoom call, maybe if once I talk to Daniel, maybe set something up where we can get everybody on a phone call or together, sort of like we did Marvin, where we have we maybe have you on a telephone, have your advocate sit next to me, and just reiterate or update what's going on or what your expectations are.
That's one thing that's been hard is communication between all these parties. David has this Justice for Angela, and then, it's people's own free will if they're going to join in or not join in, but last week, and then people are not getting along with this type of person, that I don't have a filter. I just think that shouldn't be going on, and people should put their difference to the side, because this is not just only for a fight and a cause for myself. This is a fight and cause for all Black and brown and the white people also in here, because we're all incarcerated, and this needs to stop,
Right.
So if we can't settle to put the bickering and our dislikes with one another to the side for a better cause, then we're not we look like asses.
Right.
I don't want to be looking like ass.
You're 100% right, and that's the background thing that's going on throughout this all across the board, and it's like it's bad. I'm not politicking in it or whatever, but I see it. I try not to play a part in it. But yeah, it's difficult because it's a bigger cause, and we need to see the bigger cause working together, right? Finding solutions, because that's what they want us arguing amongst ourselves. And and we shouldn't be like that.
Yes. So if push comes to shove, it's just me, you, and Danielle, Anna, Philip, and David, and Marvina. I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys are my unidentified family, because I haven't seen y'all, but you guys are my family, my support system, and I love you guys.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And when I came out of the joint, it's what my intentions were to be, that because I felt like you felt when I was sitting in there, that there was nobody on the other side that could help me or understood what was going on, and all those individuals who did understand weren't in a position to help me. So it feels good to know somebody who's walked the walk and been through what you are, but they're actually giving back. Because in turn, once you make your way out, it's gonna incentivize you to do more and help more, because I think a lot of it is resentment. Because if nobody was there to help you, you would get out and be like, nobody was there to help me, so why should I help anybody else? But by you seeing what's going on, it's gonna help you become a stronger person as you get out, to maybe reach back and pull up, or tie a string around somebody and pull them up, type deal. So that's the reason I do what I do. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, if you could reach out to Danielle and Anna and Philip and David and Marvina and try to set something up, and then David can J-pay me and let me know, or you can J-pay me, get on my J-pay, and then communicate with me like that. I always have stamps to communicate back, and get that on the go with the podcast. And then I'm gonna talk to David and Philip about orchestrating something to a movement of so this ain't being swept underneath the rug with the public or the DOC government.
Right. That sounds good. That sounds really positive. And then, like I said, it's sickening that it's sickening that they're playing this the way they're playing it, trying to sweep everything underneath the rug. So yeah, I'm definitely I'm gonna be busy today till the evening, but I'm gonna send a text to your advocate to see when she might be available for a phone conversation, and then go from there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. And enjoy your day and have fun today.
It's difficult when you know what's going on around you, to enjoy it when you're stuck in a place that you're stuck in, and doing, trying to, it's kind of hard, because you carry, like, a lot of times when you're dealing with individuals, you carry that with you and you think about it. It's kind of hard not to think about what you're going through. Even when I stop thinking about it, it pops up in my head like, damn, like, man, I wish we could do more. I wish more people to pay attention to us, because this is some real live shit, So yeah,
this fucking place is getting ran like the Minneapolis Police Department, 3rd Precinct.
Yeah, talk about it.
Place needs to be investigated and shut down, and a whole new vamp of administration, and these people need to go somewhere else and find a different job description if they can't treat us with dignity and respect and human beings.
Right, Dave, we were just talking about that on Wednesday. I was at David's house, and he was talking about how
their union is like MPD union, and it sucks.
Yeah. But he mentioned that they paid all that money for that airport style.
They them girls, and then they make them go through that again too.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, how does that make any sense? Who said that makes sense? That makes no sense. To spend all.
Then they got this skinny ass mutt golden retriever running around here, like it's an addict.
Yeah.
And you know, as me being a Native sister and enrolled band member, each and one of us, they did a census on. So each band tribal reservation, this place gets a certain amount of money put to the side. So these people are already paid for. So why aren't we getting the tools and the help for healing? Our healing is not just for Native, indigenous people. It's for all people of all color who want to partake.
Right. It's just it's bad. It's just bad. Like I said, we got to do something about it.
They got that Christianity table set up over there for pamphlets and stuff and all of that shit. I'm not a Christian, but I do believe in my higher power, God. I do believe He created us, and I do believe the stars and the moon have some type of involvement with. You have 1 minute remaining. They get that offered to them, like it goes deeper than that to have a healing process happen. In all our people's beliefs and stuff like that are not being respected and being accommodated to us for us to have a healing process that suffers from historical trauma, domestic and sexual abuse that's already been passed down to us. So it needs to be addressed.
Yes, it does. You're definitely right. And the phone's gonna
hang up, Mo. I love you, brother, and have a good day, and make sure you add me on JP and let me know what's going on, and let Philip know what's going on, and yeah, we can set up something.
I definitely will. It's going to be my wife's name, Mill Rich. It's going to come through. It's not going to come through in my name, but she's on JP because she was JPing me when I was in there, and I just kept that account. Okay. So I'll have her add you on. Okay, now.
Thank you for using GTL.
I see y'all.
Say his name for Land Up and Still.
Get that brother. I don't see who that is.
Say his name. We have a young man named George Floyd who was peacefully protesting for George Floyd. And as he was peacefully
look at David. Right there. Right in front of you. Straight ahead. Straight ahead of me.
And he lost his entire eye. He had to have his whole face reconstructed. And he has been with our families. He's on the family meetings that we have every week. He's out here marching. He's standing up, even though he lost his eye at the hands of law enforcement. And that's why I want to say that white supremacy affects black people and white people. White supremacy has to be ended because it's affecting all of us, and that's what shut this man's eye out. Yes, nothing supreme about white supremacy. So we will call forward Soren Stevenson. Thank you.
Hey y'all. She was just saying no one is exempt, so I think it's fitting that I'm the one up next. No one is exempt from white supremacy. No one is exempt from these police departments that have no rules. These officers that did this to us, to our family members, to me, they're still on these forces. We know their names. If he doesn't know their name, we'll be happy to tell him. These people have names. You could put them in jail tomorrow, but they're not acting on it. They're not acting on the information that we already know. If there's a name that they need to know of who needs to go to jail, ask Michelle Gross. She already knows it. I mean, it's inaction. It's not police reform and all these bills they're debating. Many of them really good. they try and make it abstract as though it's some really hard, complicated problem. It's not. I know their name. Benjamin Bauer shot me directly in the face. Mark Hanneman was standing right next to him when he did it, and then Mark Hanneman killed Amir Locke. You know, we know their names. Put them in jail. Put them in jail. Well, that's it. You know, if they're gonna put these officers that killed George Floyd just for a couple of years, man, it doesn't seem like we have much hope. But what else can we do? We gotta stay out here fighting until these officers are getting the kind of sentences that we get when we commit community violence. Yeah, justice for George Floyd, justice for all these families, and justice for me at some point. Yeah, love to see that.
Thank you. Someone said we must, if there is some good police, but I don't know because there's no good cops in a racist system. They need to start reporting these people when they see them do dirty stuff to people, but then they might be scared for their lives because they might end up dead too. Because we got Courtney Williams that when he got killed at 15 years old by the Minneapolis police, then next thing you know, the partner ended up dead. So it's and the boy that was with him. So witnesses start ending up dead. You know. Do we have any other? Oh, we got. Is Tahisha here? And where's Monique at? Okay, we have the aunt. I'm looking for. We have the aunt of Marcus Golden that is here today. This is a woman that held the first event that I ever had for my son's father in the 10 years that I have been fighting for him. And she's just a warrior in this fight. The auntie that is just standing up for her nephew, Marcus Golden. Thank you. Say his name! Marcus Golden! 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 Listen,
Hey, thank you all for being out here. Thank you for Tashira and Families Supporting Families for organizing this event and doing something that's very crucial to the future of our movement, and that is tying in mass incarceration with police accountability. So thank you for doing that. Marcus was killed in 2015 by St. Paul police officers Jeremy Doverspike and Dan Peck. He was shot in the head while he was in his vehicle in a parking lot. And we have now filed a lawsuit against the St. Paul Police Department, I'm happy to say. But I want to tie this into mass incarceration because had he survived that bullet to the back of his head, they would have quickly charged him, prosecuted him, and he would be in prison because the officers lied and said that Marcus tried to run them over. So those who survive end up being incarcerated. Right, so it's important that we tie them together, and I'm going to bring some Mel Reeves into this space because when Marcus was first killed, Mel Reeves found me and he said, I'm going to break this down, this is how it works. He said the Democrats and Republicans are both capitalists. Capitalism cannot exist without racism and white supremacy. Understand, he said capitalism and racism, white supremacy cannot exist without or outside of the system that we have, a two-party system of Democrats and Republicans. So we're standing outside the governor's mansion, a Democrat who did not drop charges for the 646 who were arrested on the freeway. As we were standing up against what? Justice for George Floyd, justice for all stolen lives, and don't let Trump, what? Steal the election. That was in November. What happened January 6th? But we weren't given credit for that. We were charged, and some people are still fighting their charges for that. So we have to understand that we're not getting justice on a regular basis from the DFL, and we won't get it from the RNC. So what does that mean? We need to change our thinking, and what Mel Reeves always said is we need our own damn party, right? That's what Mel always said. And Mel was very instrumental in talking about tying in together white supremacy with police and policing in America and mass incarceration. So we have to understand that we do need to be in this together, supporting one another. So I'm so glad that those of you who are here representing your loved ones who are incarcerated are here speaking up. I'm so Glad that you're continuing to do that work. I shout out to Dave back there. I know he's been out here working with the mass incarceration folks, so love you. Thank you for that, and doing other work as well. But it's just what we have to do as we continue to move forward. As Mel Reeves would say, when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. So for the families, you're still fighting for your loved ones who are alive. Don't stop. And we on the other side, we are still fighting for our loved ones who are in the grave and watching from the other side. But we don't stop, and we won't stop until we get justice. So thank you for supporting us and being out here, because you don't have to be out here in the heat, but you're doing it. That's love, and that's why we have such a beautiful movement here in the Twin Cities. So thank you for coming out. One more time for Mel. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Justice for all. Stolen lives and mass incarceration.
Thank you, Monique. And thank you, Monique, for helping us with the sound today. We were in a bind with sound, and Monique came through. We have another family that has a mass incarceration that will come up and speak. But if there is any other impacted families, I want to make sure, and I want to say thank you to all of everyone that is here. I know it's hot, I know it's warm, I know you guys want to get marching, but it is so important that the families are able to just get their little piece out. Even when they're able to just get a little bit out that they've been holding in, it means the world. So even though it's hot, I am so grateful for you guys standing here and hearing out the families as they say a few words. And we do have we have this young man, and then we'll have Tahisha Williams, the mother of Courtney Williams, whose birthday was this past Thursday, and he was killed at 13 years old. Can you repeat your loved one's name again?
Cornelius.
Cornelius. We're going to have just a few words. And I know it's warm, I know it's hot, but thank you guys for your patience and from hearing from our families. And we'll have a few words from Cornelius' family. Thank you.
Thank you. How y'all doing? I'm Lavelle Loach, so I'm the cousin of Cornelius Jackson. And basically, just got out 2 years ago from doing 20 years from being wrongfully incarcerated. So everything y'all talk about is just keep coming up back to fruition. In the 20 years, I happen to have been well enough to I had to study the law. And again, we have to understand the law. Everything everybody talks about. The system is not broken. This is the way it's made to work. We have to understand that. Yeah. You cannot get any justice in a system that's unjust. We're looking for the wrong thing. All you have to do is on paper. Dred Scott case. Basically, if you look that up, 1857, it says that a Negro has no rights that any white man is bound to respect. And we know this because everybody we're talking about who was killed. There's no justice. Nobody has went to jail, and even the people that go to jail, I promise you, they will be let out on appeal. And you can ask any brother in the joint. I done did 17 appeals. They still got me doing parole and everything because they will not honor the law. Yeah. So you have to understand not the law, they will honor their system, which is we have to take the system apart in order to get the rights that they deserve. So the people that's been killed, the people that's on parole and all of these things that we talk about, but the same thing doesn't happen to the people that do these things to us. Becomes another situation. Also, Article 1, Section 2 of the United States Constitution, Clause 3. That's the 3/5 law. It has not been changed. It has never been changed. These things have to be repealed in order for us to get the rights that we deserve. Don't keep on. We study arguing. We study fighting. That's why we're fighting a losing battle. They want us to get tired. But we need to know the proper fights in order to move forward because, like we're talking about, it'll be another politician. It doesn't matter. Some of the people probably even standing out here. But once you cross the line, you're going to have to work with them or you won't work anymore. It's that simple. So understand these things. So that's all I wanted y'all to know. And free everybody. Free everybody. And
we have the mother of Courtney Williams, killed by Minneapolis police at 15 years old. Thank you. Tahisha Williams.
15 years old when he got killed 17 years ago in North Minneapolis. Courtney Williams. I have never received any justice or anything until I met Tashira and the families to support me. We're asking for evidence right now. They're giving me runarounds. We're getting it. Well, if you close my case, why is it so hard for you to give me my son's belongings and evidence?
Listen!
So the whole justice system for me is fucked up.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be for the people, but they're against the black people, it seems like to me. And white people who support us.
Yeah.
I hope and I pray that this stuff changes, that we would never be equal. Never, I don't think, because we have so many that's still stuck in their ways. But at least get some kind of justice for and satisfaction, because I want justice and satisfaction for my son. Come on, man. Yeah, accountability. I want it all for my son. Yeah. And for the rest of the families and everyone loved one who has lost, people who have lost their caring folks, kids, everything, the police. It needs to stop. Yeah, right.
Say his name.
Say his name.
Courtney Williams.
Oh no, fuck the police. Say his name. Fuck who? Go say it. Ain't qualified me. Okay. We will now call forward a woman that came to my home a couple years ago when George Floyd was killed. And, you know, these people working together, Ralph Bell, we will call forward his family. Thank you. And if it's any other families that I haven't, could you please come forward now, because we're going to end and get started on our march. Thank you. The mother of Ralph Bell. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Thank you.
So, Toshio, so we know that Cortez ain't here, but we missing like Jamari Rice, we missing Anaya Allen, we missing the Davion, we missing Trinity, like all them families ain't here, so.
Yeah. We'll miss you.
Hi, my name is Korea, and I am the mother of Ralph Bell. Ralph went missing 3 years ago. In December, his body was found 3 months later. They covered up his death. It's been 3 years and we're still fighting for justice for his death. And I just want to say thank you all for inviting us out. And we just want justice for our children. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, in addition to we want the police violence to stop, we also have some children that have lost their lives here in Minnesota by the community violence. And the reason I believe that has happened, because you know what? Law enforcement, as a way of a punishment, they say, oh, you don't want us to kill you guys. You want us off the streets. Half the time they won't even respond when people are calling them, or they're letting people just die in the community. And so we have children that have lost their lives. And I think it's a form of retaliation, because I got a lot of people that come and say, we called the police, and they don't even show up sometimes. And I just think that is a form, or they'll let somebody's body lay out there where they could have got medical attention, but they'll let them lay out there until they do pass away. So it's a form of retaliation. But I want to raise up the names of the children that also lost their lives in this system, and I look at it as this system because it's the conditions that we have to live in. We have a $10 billion surplus that they did nothing this past legislative session. They walked out of the Capitol without passing any police accountability bills or putting any funding into the community to help our community with rec centers, mentorship programs, things that we need for our youth, and free lunch. And everybody knows that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. And a lot of our kids just, they don't have much to do. So they're getting into different things. So we're going to call out the name. Anaya Allen. Say her name. Jamari Rice, say his name. What's the say the kid's name? LaDavion, say his name. Deshaun Hill, say his name. Trinity, say her name. Anaya Allen, say her name. Thank you. Now, we do have also my brother Trayvon Cruz, who is the uncle of Hardell Sherrill, who was brutally left on the floor to die. He was screaming for medical attention over and over and over again. They denied him medical help. He ended up dying on the floor. If there is no other family members that would like to say anything, we will close out with my brother Trayvon. We will get started on our march. We are only going to do one lap around here because we've been standing and it's hot. And so we'll do one lap around the governor's mansion, come back here, and we'll caravan with our loved ones' pictures outside, and just blowing our horns all the way down to the Capitol, where we will have food and music and all that stuff down at the Capitol. I see my Native family, who I love to death, Paul Castaway's family. So say his name, Paul Castaway. Paul Castaway. Say his name, Paul Castaway. Paul Castaway. Say his name. Paul Castaway. Paul Castaway. Paul Castaway. We must always remember we're standing on stolen land that was stolen from the Native people, and now they come and kill these people on their own land. So we will now have my brother come forward, Trayvon Cruz, founder of Black Lives Matter Minnesota. Thank you.
No good cops in a racist system.
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 My sister's son, Hardell Sherrill, was found dead in Beltrami County Jail about 4 or 5 years ago. And I had to prepare her for what she was going to go through. They told her that he died in their arms, and they tried to save him. And then once we fought to get the footage back, we seen that they left him laying on the ground for 8 terrorizing hours, when they could have saved his life and got him the medical treatment that he needed. So we don't just want Medicare for all out here on the streets. We want Medicare for all for even our inmates.
That's right.
Just because somebody is an inmate or is trying to and he didn't even go to court yet. So we think if people in jail, people in prisons should have right to proper medical care.
Come on, that's right.
So we want to see, there's a police department, Mounds View Police Department is dissolving, and we want to see Beltrami County Police Department dissolve. Dissolve means that it's over with, that it's ending, they're wrapping up. We also want to see the Minneapolis Police Department dissolved because of all of the murders, because of what they did to Amir Locke, because of what they did to George Floyd, because of what they did to Tekle, because of what they did to Lawrence Miles. They need to start all over. And we need to create a new type of police department that is about, for real, public safety. So I'm not going to talk real long. I'm just excited to be here amongst all the families who have lost a loved one to police violence. We got to continue to hold the police accountable, whether it happened 25 years or whether it happened yesterday. So we want an independent investigation into any police-related shooting that has resulted in death. We also want the $10 billion surplus to go towards reparations for the American descendants of chattel slavery who built this country for free. And also, reparations are not just cash payments. Reparations also means to stop killing us, stop harming us, stop discriminating against us socially, politically, economically, on the job, in the banks, with housing, etc. So that cessation means stopping the wrong or stopping the harm. And we need not just harm reduction, we need harm elimination. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Next week, you will be going to the polls to vote. When you go to the polls, if somebody comes up and asks you for your vote, ask them, do they support reparations? If they say no, then you say, I can't vote for you. I'm sorry, it's not personal. Then ask them, do you support the George Floyd Act? And what are you doing about it? If they say no, all right, or they make excuses, say, oh, I'm sorry, I might not be able to cast my ballot for you. So we're going to support candidates that are out here on the ground with us, stomping with us, and fighting for what we need on a daily basis. Black lives, Black lives, Black lives, Black lives. Thank you all for coming out. We love you, and these families love you for coming out and supporting them all the time. We can't do this without the community, so thank you. We thank you all, and we thank the people for Minnesota for having an appetite for police accountability. All right, peace.
Thank you, Trayvon. Now, everybody, we're going to get started. We're just going to do one lap around the mansion because it's hot, and we've been out here for a while. So, and then when we get to the Capitol, I want to tell you guys, Michelle Gross with Communities United Against Police Brutality, she has the scroll of all the stolen, that she updated the scroll, and so she's going to let that down the Capitol stairs. We got a few more speakers. We're going to have Michelle speak. We're going to have Representative John Thompson, because he is out here standing with the community, but he's fighting in those rooms, and he's getting slandered all over the place for standing up for what's right. So we want to get behind John Thompson, Mayor Mike Elliott, who's out there in Brooklyn Center. We want to stand up for the people that's standing up for us in our community and being slandered. So we are, please come over to the Capitol and get you something to eat, but we're going to get started on the march. Okay, so Black lives, Black lives, everybody head into the street. We're going to get, Lee, can you do me a favor? Would you roll that over to Brandon, where are you? Thank you, families. Thank you so much, families, for being here today. Thank you.
What's up, man? Hey, you see my reaction to your thing on
that was you.
That was me. SAFMO. Hey, get him. You ain't get to see that scene.
I seen it was coming on, but I didn't get to see that.
You gotta watch it, man.
Sorry about that.
This is a podcast called I Got Something to Say.
Yeah, I think I met you.
Was you at the store for John Thompson?
No, SA, yeah.
Yeah, SA. I've been trying to hook up with you. Yeah, do your thing. I'm gonna hook up with you tomorrow. Okay. Hey, Ron, take down this number. You got your phone with you? Yeah, we saw it at the essay. That's the same. He got the same number. Yeah. Check out the video. I mean, I snapped because I felt like that dude was coming. He was disrespecting me.
Oh, the white dude?
Yeah, the white dude with the funny haircut.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Rod. What's up, man?
My brother here.
Ron. Rob, what's up? How you doing?
Good, bro.
Good to see you, big brother.
Yes, good to see you.
Yes, sir.
We live
on YouTube. Thank you.
We live on YouTube.
Right now?
Yeah.
Hey. That picture. Oh yeah. I'm gonna get all these. I wanted to get them all.
Thanks. It's been a long time coming, but I know, oh yeah, change gon' come. Oh yes it will. It's been too hard to live in, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there behind the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know, oh yeah, change gon' come. Oh yes it will. Said I go to the movies and I go downtown, yeah. Somebody keeps telling me, don't you hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know, oh yeah, change gon' come. Oh yes it will. And I go to my brother. And I say, brother, help me. Please help. But he winds up. Now I can leave. Back down on my knees. Oh, there's been times that I thought I wouldn't ask you, Lord. Now I think I'm able. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh yes it will. Yes it will. For sure. That's that. And then we're gonna have Zeke's gonna do one more song. And then, oh, okay, we got one more song called Change.
Every time they bring you back, 75%, 7,500. And that's not cool. We all been slipped through the cracks. There's brothers in there right now that got false cases and convicted of murders and everything else. And they don't even know the streets like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how it works out here. And if it wasn't for the governor bringing the crack and drugs and shit in here, shit wouldn't be like this.
Right.
Period. But
that's on GP.
But we gotta survive somehow, because we ain't got no money handed down to us. After 400, 500 years of slavery, our ancestors went through it. The beatings, the killings, all of that. And now they still trying to take more. Because these white folks, the older racist white people, they don't know how to just come and be one. And say, okay, if it was my son, this is what I would do. But because we're black, we got strikes against us already.